So, good morning, students. Today I'm going to discuss the question answers from the lesson 3 fiber to fabric. That is the exercise question answer. Clear? Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay. So, the first question number one. Question number one is the that is the you must be familiar with the following nursery rhymes. Baba black sheep, have you any wool? And Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. So the answer the following question. The question number A is the which parts of the black sheep have wool? So what will be the answer? The answer is the hairy skin called fleece have wool has wool in black sheep. So that is this is the answer of question number 1A. Now what is the question number 1B answer? The question number 1B is what is meant by white fleece of the lamb? The answer is number 1B. The answer is white fleece of the lamb means the white color white colored hairy skin. So this is the answer. So this is number 1A and B answer. Next is you see A is the hairy skin called fleece has wool in black sheep. Then the question number 2 is the silkworm is number A caterpillar or number B a larvae, and you have to choose the correct option. And have you seen the four options are there? Number 1 is A, number 2 is B, number 3 is both A and B, and number 4 is neither A nor B. The answer is the correct answer is number 3, both A and B, because the larvae of the silk moth is called a caterpillar, a larvae, or a silkworm. So, see, both larvae and caterpillar are the correct answer. Then you see there is another question, that is question number 3. It is which of the following does not yield wool? Options are given: yak, camel, goat, and woolly dog. We get wool from yak, camel, and goat, but from the woolly dog, we do not get the wool. So that is the correct answer. Then next question is question number 4, that is what is meant by the following terms? First is rearing. So what do you mean by rearing? Rearing means rearing of sheep. So both you see rearing of sheep means to look after the sheep by giving them food, shelter. Afterwards, you will write, okay? Food, shelter, and health care. So this is the definition of rearing. Then you see, yes. Then the next one you see the question number 4.2. 4.2 is the sharing. What is meant by sharing? Sharing is the process of removing hair from the body of a sheep. So this is the meaning of shearing. Third one is what is meant by sericulture. So sericulture is the sericulture means it is the rearing of silkworm, rearing of silkworms for getting or for obtaining silk. So this is the answer of question number 4. Then you see the next question is question number 5, and question number 5 is given below is a sequence of steps in the processing of wool. Which are the missing steps at them? So number 5, the steps are shearing, then one step is missing, then is sorting, and then after that the 3 steps are missing there. So the next what is the after shearing what is the step? The step is, yes, scouring. It is scouring. Yes. After sorting, the step is combing. Then is dyeing. Dyeing. That means the coloring. And the last one is the spinning. Spinning. So this is the sequence. Question number 6. Mark the make the sketches of the 2 stages in the life history of the silk moth which are directly related to the production of silk. So this one you have to draw from your book. Okay. So in the book the picture is there. So you have to, even if in the PDF also you will get the picture which one you have to draw. Next question is question number 7. Out of the following, which of the 2 terms related to silk production? Sericulture, floriculture, moriculture, apiculture, and silviculture. So you see, yes, sericulture. Yes, it is the sericulture, because we know that the silk production involves cultivation of mulberry leaves and rearing silkworm, because mulberry leaves are the food of silkworm. So this is the sericulture. So next one is, you see hint is there in your book. If one hint is there, the scientific name of mulberry is Morus alba. That is why the second one is called moriculture. That is yes, moriculture, because production of mulberry trees in a large amount for the production of silkworm, so that silkworm will get the more you say more mulberry leaves means we can give more food to the silkworm. So it is called the moriculture. Clear? Then you see question number 8. Match the words of column 1 with those given in column 2. So column 1 is number 181, scouring. So scouring is, it is, yes, it is the, yes, it is the cleaning shared skin, because the dirts are there, grease dirts are there in shear skin. So we have to clean it properly, thoroughly, with detergent powder or soap and water. So this is the number 1. Number 2, you say it is there. Number 2 is mulberry. Yes, yes, it is a full of silkworm, mulberry leaves. Mulberry leaves, it is food of silkworm. Then you say question number 8.3. 8.3 is yak. It is the, yes, it is the wool yielding animals. It is a wool yielding animal. And then number 4. Number 4 is, it is cocoon. Yes, yes, it is cocoon, and it is also eels. Yes, it is eels, silk, fibers, and it is also related with the term reeling. So both the terms are related with the word cocoon. Clear? Up to this is clear? Then number, yes, then number 9 is there. 9 also you have to do in book. A puzzle is there. Have you seen the puzzle? Yes. So, yes, now down you see, down, that is question number 1 is thorough washing. Thorough washing is called scouring. So please you write down this one in your book. Scouring, thorough washing, it is scouring. Then number 2, animal fiber. Animal fiber is silk. Then number 3, long thread like structure. It is fiber. So you all have written this one in your book. So down again I'm saying number 1 is scouring, number 2 is animal fiber, that is the silk, and number 3 is the fiber, that is the long thread like structure. Then is across. Across, number 1 is keeps warm. So it is wool. Keeps warm, that is the wool. The number 2, its leaves are eaten by silkworm. So it is mulberry. This mulberry. Number 3, hatches from egg to moth. So this is caterpillar. This is caterpillar. So this is all scouring. 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 So these are the, wait, or you can write scout, scour, scout. Clear? You can write scout also. So the these are the question answers from the exercise of lesson 3, fiber to fabric. Now I want to discuss some important, very, very important question answers with you all. You will get the PDF, okay, for write down the for writing the answers in your copy. So the question number one, so important question number one is, which is the strongest natural fiber? The answer is silk. 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 Yes, yes, very good. The answer is silk. So again, the question number two is, what is, you will get the PDF. So question number two is, what is meant by selective breeding? So the answer is, in case of animals, breeding is done. Breeding is done to obtain animals with desired characteristics. So what happens here? The two animals, the two individual, that means the two animals we have selected of desired characteristics are selected as parents and are then crossed, so that we will get so that we will get we will get a new variety having desirable characteristics of both the parents. So what happens here? In case of animals, breeding is done to obtain the animals with desired characteristics. That means all the good qualities should be there in that particular type of animal. So what happens? We select two individuals with desirable characteristics as parents, and then they are cross to obtain a new variety, a new breed of animals having all the desirable characteristics, all the good qualities of the both the parents. So this is called the selective breeding. Another important question is, what are the basis of to judge the quality of wool obtained from the sheep? So the answer is, the quality of wools judged on the basis of thickness of the wool, then length of the wool, Next is shine of the wool. Fourth one is the strength of the wool. And the last one is the fineness, fineness of the wool. That means wool fiber. So these are the different qualities on the basis of the quality of wool are judged, or we can decide. Clear? Then the next question is, why do we not wait for the silk moth to hatch and then boil the cocoon? Why we do not wait for the silk moth to come out from the cocoon? Why before that only we boil the cocoon? So the answer is, if we allow the larvae of the silk moth to grow, then we will not get the very good quality of silk. So if they are not killed and allowed to grow, then what happens? They will break the cocoon. They will break the cocoon and thereby they reduce the length of the silk fiber. That is why we boil the cocoon. So this is the answer of question number 4. Why do we not wait for the silk moth to hatch and then boil the cocoon? So it's clear, everyone? Everyone, it is clear? Okay. Okay. Then, then the next question is, why is shearing done in summer? So that what happens if we do not shearing, that means we do not do the shearing in summer, then what happens? They will feel more hot. No, more hot in summer. They feel more hot. So we do that means sheep are sheared in the early summer so that they do not feel feel heat. Clear? And they will get the time to, that means to grow again the fleece for the winter. Okay. Then the next question is very important. Again, one more important question. How do the hair of certain animals help in keeping their bodies warm? So what happens? Certain animals have hair on their body, and hair traps a lot of air, and air is a poor conductor of heat. Yes, air is a very poor conductor of heat. So air does not allow the body heat to be lost, and helps in keeping that warm. So that is the answer. Clear? It is clear. Again, I'm saying that certain animals have hair on their body, and hair trap a lot of air, and air is a poor conductor of heat, so it does not allow the body heat to be lost into the atmosphere, and hence it helps in keeping them warm. Clear? Everybody, it's clear? And the last question is the this is again a very important question, that with the help of a flowchart, describe the life cycle of a silkworm and the production of silk cloth. So how to how to draw this one? How to draw the flow chart? So you will write the female silk moth. So female silk moth lays eggs, then eggs, eight, from the eggs the larvae, yes, comes out and feed on a lot of mulberry leaves, and then it goes to the cocoon stage, and after the cocoon, the cocoons are boiled in hot water, and the larvae, yes, larvae in cocoon die. Then we get the silk thread by reeling, and after reeling by throwing, we get the thrown silk, and from the thrown silk we get the colored colored silk, and from the colored silk we get the silk cloth. So this is all about the product, that is flow chart of the flow chart of the life cycle of silkworm and the production of silk cloth. So this is way. So this is all about the question answers, the important question answers and exercise question answers from the chapter 3 fiber to fabric. Yes. So yes, you will get the PDF. You all get both the PDFs. So whenever you will get time, you write down the question answers in your copy and send to me. Okay, you just send to me. Yes, to my personal number. Clear? Whatever the question, both the PDFs you will get. The PDFs of exercise question answers and PDF of the important question answers. Okay. So it is not necessary that you have to submit today only. Clear? You whenever you will get time, write the answers in your copy and just send it to me. Is it clear, everyone? Is clear, everyone? Yes. So, that's all for today. So have a very good day. Bye bye. Okay. हाँ. Uli. So that it is depend on, because I don't know that dyeing process I have not done only. So it's some doubt is, I also don't know the which one it's easier to dye. It's silk or that means the wool. Okay.